All right, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar. This is the fourth session in our series, 3D Experience Journey, Accelerate and Integrating 3D Experience with CATIA V5. My name is Nick Lewis and I'll be guiding you through today's session. So if you've been with us from the beginning, you know that we've been taking a step-by-step approach to help teams like yours transition smoothly to the 3D Experience platform. So far, we've focused on connecting V5 data to the 3D Experience, establishing structured lifecycle and change management within the platform. So now it's time to take things further by unlocking new capabilities and ensuring that the V5 data is accessible and usable across teams organization-wide, not just within engineering. So what we'll look at today is a quick recap and then expanding the V5 capabilities, understanding the challenges that keep V5 isolated and why structured collaboration is key to correcting this. We'll review how progressing from lifecycle management to full integration accelerates the use of the 3D Experience platform. And then we can expand the value of the V5 data to other teams within the organization without disrupting the existing workflows in place. We'll be introducing some new 3D Experience roles. We'll be covering four key roles that will enhance collaboration and decision making within the organization. So we'll discuss how these roles work together. We'll look at a real world workflow showing how teams can maximize efficiency. We'll look at the benefits and the new capabilities of each of these roles and the tools that they provide. And then we'll look at a customer success story. And by the end of this session, you will have a clear path forward on how to leverage CATIA V5 data across your organization. So what we've covered already in our last session, if you were with us, our focus was on bringing structure and control to V5 data within the 3D Experience platform. We tackled key challenges like version confusion, disconnected workflows, inefficient approvals. And the goal was simple to make sure that teams were working with the right data at the right time and in a controlled manner. So we began with structured lifecycle management, ensuring that teams weren't working on outdated designs. You know, each object is defined by the system. The rev is controlled there. So everyone can know they're working with the latest data at any time. We also automated tasks and approvals, making collaboration more efficient. We eliminated version conflicts by centralizing data within the 3D Experience platform. We also introduced structured change management, ensuring that modifications were properly reviewed and approved and within a timely manner. And most importantly, we expanded the organization-wide collaboration beyond engineering, making V5 data accessible to other stakeholders such as project and product managers. So what's next? While the lifecycle management is a crucial step, it is not enough to just store and control V5 data. We need to make it work for everyone across the organization. Right now, many companies still keep the V5 data trapped within the engineering departments. This means that project managers, configuration specialists, business teams, etc., struggle to access and use this information efficiently and effectively. So today we will focus on solving this challenge by extending V5's value beyond the design team without disrupting the existing workflows. And we are going to look at the 3D Experience roles that will allow us to do so, and then how each of these roles or users will interact with and manage this CATIA V5 data. So engineering is more than just design, it is a process. Successful product development is not just about creating great designs, it's about managing the entire process efficiently. Things such as how project managers track design progress, how do product teams ensure that the configurations are accurate, how do decision makers get real-time updates without waiting for reports. And if we rely solely on CATIA V5, we're forcing teams to work within these silos, which slow everything down. And this is where 3D Experience comes in. It does not replace CATIA V5. Instead, it extends its capabilities so these teams can work together in real time with the right data. So we will introduce 3D experience concepts such as dashboards, which allow for real-time design tracking. So there's no more waiting for updates or reports. Stakeholders have instant access to these dashboards that will show them um, the design progress in real time. Better change control and collaboration. So these teams that will work together and with these structured approval processes um, are going to be much more efficient instead of relying on email change and verbal communications and other informal means such as that. Um, Role-based data access. So depending on the role that you are assigned within the platform, you will have access to only the data that you need to have access to. So project managers, configuration specialists, and other decision makers get exactly the information they need without interrupting the engineering teams. Um, and 60% of design errors come from miscommunication between engineering and process teams. So now let's talk about how we make all this happen by introducing specific 3D experience roles that integrate seamlessly with V5. So if you've been following this webinar series, you know that we've been taking a step-by-step approach integrating CATIA V5 to the platform. CATIA V5 has been a core design tool for many of you for years, and we understand that transitioning to a new way of working is not an overnight process. That's why we're focusing on progressive adoption, ensuring that each step adds value without disrupting your current and existing workflows. So our first step was get connected. At this stage, we introduced the collaborative designer roles for CATIA V5, and it showed that teams can continue to work in V5 while benefiting from the cloud collaboration that the 3D Experience platform has to offer. We learned how we could store and manage files and retrieve designs directly within the 3D Experience, and we were able to ensure design consistency and reduce errors by having everything in this centralized location instead of scattered about. This was a critical step, but just connecting V5 to the platform by itself is not enough to ensure, true cross-team collaboration. So the next step we looked at was get ready. So once the V5 is connected to the platform, the next step was to bring structure and control to that V5 data. So, collaboration only works when the data is properly managed. So we focused on controlling design maturities, by ensuring that release models aren't modified by mistake, managing revisions and revision control so that teams always are always certain they're working on the latest version. And we implemented a structured change management process, but this reduces rework and improves traceability within the engineering teams and other stakeholders. And this allows us to eliminate many of the daily inefficiencies that slow down development teams. And that brings us to this webinar, which is Accelerate. So now we move into the next phase. And this is basically expanding how the V5 data that is being stored in the platform is being used, that we're expanding it to the whole organization, allowing project managers, other configuration specialists, and other business teams to interact with that data in a more structured way. So now let's take a deeper look at how we expand V5's capabilities in this accelerate step. So within the accelerate step, um, again, today we're focusing on continuing to use the V5 data from the previous get ready and get connected steps while expanding its use organization wide, allowing other stakeholders to take advantage of the roles, to leverage the roles so that they can fully utilize all the data that is necessary for them. We are no longer just talking about managing this data within the platform. We're talking about making this data work for the entire organization. So, what, again, our focus here is to continue to use B5, but track the design changes efficiently without digging through multiple file versions, maybe in multiple locations. Manage these product configurations across multiple variants and effectivities. And our goal is to align design process with the project timeline so that teams can deliver on time, every time. Right now, many of these tasks require manual updates to spreadsheets or other disconnected tools. Um, but by utilizing the CATIA V5 with the 3D Experience platforms, we are able to improve our design management. So now engineers can navigate product structures without opening large assembly files. They can conduct 3D digital mockups and design reviews all within the web browser without the need for a CAD license. And these, these tools continue to, you can measure, create section views, filter based on components or maybe object types, all within a web browser. And again, the real power of this is that does not utilize a CAD, a designer license. And it does not require an engineering grade laptop. If you have, any web browser like Chrome or Firefox, or even Microsoft Edge, you're going to be able to look at these models, take your measurements, and get the information that you need out of it as a project manager, as a configuration specialist, without the need to tie up an additional CAD license. So instead of managing all the product variations separately, we're now able to manage the design configuration within the 3D Experience platforms. All the different variants and effectivities are handled in a single structured environment. And as you make changes to one or more of these products, impacted parts are instantly retrieved. So you can see, globally how this change affects your work. And there's a tool called the 3D Configurator that provides clear visualizations of each selected configuration of a product. So engineering should never be disconnected from project management. So using the 3D Experience platform, designs are linked to project for live status updates. Teams can identify risks early and address potential delays before they escalate. Um, we're not talking about just things that are nice to have. These tools are essential if you're going to work smarter, work more efficiently, and collaborate as an organization. So far, we've talked about why we need better design management, configuration control, and project tracking to improve the daily workflows within CATIA V5. But how do we actually implement these improvements without disrupting the engineers' day-to-day tasks and the way that they work? Um, this is where the 3D experience roles come in. So these roles are designed to expand the way that teams interact with CATIA V5 data without forcing a drastic change to the workflows. So 3D Experience provides a wide variety of roles within the platform, but our goal is to start small, start simple, and then scale up or accelerate as we begin to utilize the platform more. So today we're only going to be focusing on four key roles that will help us achieve everything we've talked about so far. So and these roles are PAU, which is the 3D product architect role. Someone with this role helps teams navigate, visualize, and edit CAD and multi-CAD product structures, um, all from a web-based environment. CFG, which is configuration engineer. Someone with this role manages the product variability and ensures that all configurations are properly controlled. PDM, which is the product manager role. Someone with this role aligns engineering data with business processes to maintain consistency. And the last role is DPM or project manager. And this connects the product data to the project timelines to keep teams on track and on schedule. Each of these roles plays a specific part in expanding the value of V5 data across the organization. So now we're going to take a closer look at what each role does. So the 3D product architect role, engineering product structures can become very complex and very difficult to manage very quickly, especially if you're working across different systems and even different CAD systems. So the 3D product architect role is designed to help teams navigate and edit and review CAD and multi-CAD product structures in a seamless and again web-based environment. With PAU, users can easily visualize full assemblies, analyze relationships between components of those assemblies, and ensure that design updates are tracked properly, all without needing direct access to CATIA V5 or other CAD tools. So again, we can explore and modify multi-CAD product structures um, all within a web browser-based environment. And we can even see here on, on our tree, we have within this one assembly that we're looking at, a 3D experience part, a Siemens NX part, a Creo part, and then a CATIA V5 part. So, and all of these components from even these, disassociated CAD systems are able to coexist here in this product structure. Um, with this data, we can create digital mock-ups and design reviews, again, without the need for CAD software. This visualization that we're looking at here is within a web browser window. And we can use these interactive 3D tools to measure section and filter components on these models, um, all without tying up a CAD license and without the need for an engineering grade CAD computer. Um, we're also able to manage product changes and effectivities. We can apply different configuration rules to ensure that each configuration is reflected accurately and meets the correct product definitions. All of this provides full traceability of the design and the design modifications when paired with the change management from the previous session. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the configuration engineer role. So someone with this role is going to manage not only multiple configurations, but also multiple variants of a product. Most products, will have more than one configuration, whatever that may be. If you've got a small engine, there might be a low output engine and a high output engine, or anything of that nature. Any product that's going to have more than one, I guess, sub product or type or variant um, needs to be managed. Most companies rely on spreadsheets and other disconnected tools to track these different versions and variants. This can result in very inconsistent product definition, and all of this leading to production delays. So the configuration engineer role eliminates these issues by providing a structured environment to manage product variability, effectivities, and configurations. This ensures that, again, every team member is working with the right data, the right version at the right time. Um, so within with the CFG role, again, you can manage all product variants in a single product structure without the need for duplicating data. And we can then apply effectivity rules on top of this data to track different configurations over time. And that's kind of what we're looking at here in this screenshot. So they've got this front end loader, and each of these check boxes are different options or options within this product structure, and each different combination of these options yields a configuration. So we're able to retrieve and update impacted parts in real time. So if there is a design change made, um, with this role and this set of tools that we're looking at, we are able to track impacted components across all configurations, not only the configuration where the change was made. So this 3D configurator allows us to visually track and analyze different product configurations in an interactive environment. We can simplify our decision making by instantly filtering and comparing different product variants. Um, and companies that implement structured configuration management do reduce design errors by up to 40%. So with CFG, teams no longer have to manually track these product variations and these different configurations. Everything is structured and central and managed by the platform. The product manager role, make sure that data is going to flow correctly um, from engineering to the other relevant business units like manufacturing, procurement, and all the other necessary business teams. So too often companies struggle with things like misaligned bill of materials to the CAD models, um, disconnected teams using different systems. And again, you have these teams working in silos, working with different data sets. That can lead to delays. And then inefficient validation processing also causing delays to the product development cycle. So the product manager role solves these issues by ensuring that all of the data is structured, validated, and synchronized across all the teams. This eliminates the inconsistencies by improved collaboration. So some of the advantages of this role is, again, to ensure product data and accuracy. There is a single source of truth, not only for the CAD models, but also the bill of materials and product configurations. And all of these objects are tied and linked together. This prevents misalignment between design, production, procurement, and other teams. Each team has real-time access to this data and the approved data for each product and its variants. This ensures that all stakeholders work with the latest data at all times. Also, we automate the approval process to speed up decision making and validate product structures before they release, reducing costly errors. All of this results in faster time to market, fewer manufacturing errors, again, by ensuring that your CAD and your bill of materials are always aligned, increased efficiency, and better decision making as everyone has access to the same information from the same source. So, designing and defining a product is only part of this whole equation. This product that is being designed has to be designed and delivered on time, and within scope and within budget. So most companies struggle with lack of visibility into project status. This can lead to delays. Once again, disconnected teams working in silos, not communicating, working with different data from different sources. Um, all of this can lead to management not being aligned with the project status. Um, Manually tracking processes, this will make it hard to identify risks early enough before they become a real problem. The project manager role solves these challenges by providing real-time tracking, structured planning, and risk management, ensuring that engineering stays aligned with the rest of the business objectives. So this role connects engineering data to the project timelines. So things like product structure, designs, bill of materials, all of these can be linked to specific project milestones. This ensures that the progress is always visible to project managers, other stakeholders, and business teams. This improves cross-team coordination by aligning engineering, manufacturing, procurement, all with real-time project updates. And this avoids miscommunication by, again, ensuring that all of these teams are working with the same data from the same source. This role also allows us to optimize resource and allocation and risk management. So early on, we can identify potential bottlenecks and delays before they become an impactful. We're able to balance workload and allocate resources also based on real-time project data. So you can always stay on top of your resources and make sure that everything will be complete on time and on budget. So real-time tracking ensures that issues are flagged early, reducing delays. We get improved efficiency and enhanced collaboration. Again, everyone working with the same data from the same source. And all of this increases the project success rate. So poor project visibility is responsible for 35% of missed deadlines in product development. And with the project manager role, engineering and business teams work together seamlessly. This keeps projects on schedule and on time. So at this point, we've seen how each supplemental role improves specific aspects of the design configuration, product management, and project execution portions. But the real power comes when we bring all of this together, combining V5, CATIA V5 data with the 3D Experience collaboration tools. So by integrating these roles into your workflow, we gain seamless collaboration without disrupting V5 workflows. Again, engineers will continue to work in CATIA V5 while other teams have access and interact with the data um, from the 3D Experience platform, and it's the data that they need that is relevant to them. This eliminates the need for massive file migrations between platforms because 3D Experience is now the single source of truth for this product. So project managers, product teams, and business leaders gain real-time access to design progress and project status. This reduces the need for constant meetings, searching for the latest versions, digging around for emails, or trying to even remember what someone said in the hall. There is now a single source of truth and a collaborative communicative environment for all of these changes to be tracked. Change requests, approvals, and configurations are all tracked and managed centrally. Teams no longer work in silos. Decisions are made with full visibility into the product structures. All of this reduces errors, which yields faster time to market. The structured lifecycle management and configuration management all but eliminates version conflicts, and projects move faster because of this, because everyone has accurate, up to date information. Companies that integrate CATIA V5 with the 3D experience see up to a 40% reduction in design errors and a 25% faster time to market than those that don't. So now we're going to take a look at a real world scenario. Bats is a well-known manufacturer. They specialize in dies and stamping systems for the automotive industry. Since their product complexity and demand for quality grew, they realized that their existing workflows were not efficient enough and were not robust enough. Um, to carry on as they were. They needed a solution that increased their agility, allowed for better data control, and improved collaboration, um, not only within their organization, but with their suppliers and customers as well. So some of the challenges faced by the company, were lack of real-time collaboration. Their teams did work in disconnected silos with disconnected tools, making it difficult to keep customers and suppliers aligned. Limited process control, managing multiple product lines required structured project and product data management. And all of this resulted in a slower time to market. Without a unified system, delays occurred in product validation and approvals. So, in order to stay competitive, they needed a PLM solution that could centralize the project management, improve the agility, and ensure seamless data exchange and collaboration. And their solution was the 3D Experience platform because it provided a single digital environment to manage all manufacturing processes, covering everything from document management to CAD data, bill of materials, and project management and project tracking. So by integrating the 3D experience, they were able to ensure better collaboration, not only internally, but with their suppliers and their customers as well. Um, they got improved data traceability between all product and project data since it was now stored centrally and managed centrally. And they were able to accelerate their product validation with real-time updates and a structured approval process that the platform allowed. And with these capabilities, they transformed their engineering and manufacturing workflows without disrupting their existing processes. So all of this resulted in faster time to market for them, um, improved product quality from centralized collaboration and centralized data, ensuring that every stakeholder had access to the latest information, um, seamless information sharing amongst teams, and this real time data exchange improved efficiency between not only their internal teams, um, but also their external partners as well. So with the 3D experience, we gained fast access to data, reduced production times and cost, improved quality, and go to market. So then that was from the PLM manager at BATS. So and BATS was able to successfully transition to a more agile, controlled, and collaborative environment. Um, by integrating CATIA V5 with the 3D Experience platform. So this does absolutely lead to a real business value. That brings us to the question and answer portion for this webinar. If there are not any questions, thank you very much for attending. Um, we will follow up with the next session, I believe next week. And that is all. Thank you again.